I'll go back to where the idea of the film came from in the first place. It was kind of over maybe 6 months, a year. I used to, when I woke up with a bad dream or, a nightmare, and specific images I remembered from the dream, I kept a notebook by the side of my bed and I used to write down certain images. And I always thought that when I'd had a kind of list of them, I'd try and make a script out of it. And so kind of the film develops from there, really, John.
So it's basically, is it one nightmare or is it a composite of several nightmares?
Many nightmares, probably, as I say, over 6 months to a year. But I mean, it wasn't full nightmares, it was just specific images which I remembered when I woke up the next day. As I say, I jotted them down and kind of always thought I'd like to make them into some kind of film, like a visual one, particularly, because it was always the visual from the nightmare which affected me,
Have you shown it to anybody who translates dreams at all?
No. It's something I've not thought about. No.
So there's other things in there as well. Is it there's a little bit of David Lynch in there? Would that be fair to say, like a slight flavour of that? That kind of dank, claustrophobic feel to it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm David Lynch, David Cronenberg. I mean, I'm inspired by their work. It's two of my favourite directors, ironically. But yeah, I mean, what I was trying to catch the moment of a dream, kind of the randomness, the panic. I mean, we've all had nightmares before, and we've all woke up, and you catch certain things, you remember certain things. And this is what I was trying to catch within the narrative of the film. There was nothing specific story-wise I was trying to say, but I just wanted that kind of all-round feeling of what it's like to be caught in a dream and a nightmare.
Yeah, that's what I specifically liked about it. It was more of an atmosphere than a story. He kind of drops right into the middle of it, and even when he's at the end in the phone box, it's not really the end, is it? It's just like a sliver of time.
Well, yeah, it's kind of, it's kind of the protagonist kind of caught in this world. I mean, the whole idea of what I wanted to reflect within the film was the idea of being caught in that moment, caught in the moment and not knowing how to get out, how to escape. I thought, wouldn't it be odd if, the moment what you fear, which you remember the next day, if you were actually stuck there and you couldn't get out of it, And as I say, the protagonist is trying to find a way out, and obviously he doesn't succeed, he just goes round and round and round.
Yeah, I mean, so was the phone box the end? I mean, I just wonder about this. Is that from that film from about 40 years ago? That film where someone gets trapped in a phone box, or was that just a coincidence?
No, it was just a coincidence.
Yeah.
Just a coincidence.
Yeah. So, is this your first film you made, or you made several films?
No, this is actually, it's my second funded short film, but I've done about another 5 self-funded short films.
So this one's not self-funded, is it? Because it's,
No, as I say, this is the second one, which was funded by, through the Film Council, Northern Film and Media Scheme, which they ran before the UK Film Council's Act.
So what kind of budgets would a film like this be to make?
This one was made on 12k.
I mean, even for that, you've done an amazing job there. There's so much. I mean, there's so much in there, and the effects and the atmosphere of it.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I was pleased with it. The original script, to be honest, had a lot more in it. But the script editor I was working with at the time said, look, you either shorten this down or shorten it down if you stand any chance of getting the film made, or it just won't get done at the current length. The content what was in it originally. So it was kind of like, well, there was no way I'd be able to self-fund a film like that. So there was a lot of stuff I cut out of it. And also, I mean, I had to give it some kind of narrative thread, otherwise it just wouldn't have made sense at all, you know. And so, you know, there was a lot of compromise, but you know, that's what filmmaking's all about, isn't it? So,
Was it expensive to make somewhere look as grubby as that flat?
um, you know, I think we were quite lucky, really, because the film was shot in an old mental institute hospital in Prudhoe, which is kind of about maybe 5-10 miles from where I live. So we kind of fell in lucky, really, with the location. I mean, it did need some work doing on it, obviously, and but there was a lot of rooms within it which, you know, didn't need a great deal doing to it. You know, they just allowed us to go and, you know, pull wallpaper off and just do what we wanted. So, you know, we were quite lucky in that respect.
So the building's almost like the star of the film.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, it was a last minute thing as well, because the locations we had before that, you know, they would have needed a hell of a lot more work doing on it. And also, luckily, I found a really good art director who was willing to work for not much, and I mean, she did a fantastic job on the film, and also the DP, you know, I mean, he did a really good job, you know. Actually, it was difficult for me to kind of get over to him, the feeling, the mood which I wanted, but I mean, I think, you know, I've worked with this guy before on my self-funded film, so we kind of know each other, the way we work, and, you know, he kind of grasped it pretty well, done a fantastic job, you know.
Okay, I'm just going to ask the audience for questions, so see if you can hear
Well,
us.
no,
So, has anybody got a question?
Yeah, I've got a question.
Yeah.
What, for getting 12k funding, what was the criteria that you sort of got that 12k? I'm interested to know. And who were the people that missed out, and why they missed out, and what was the criteria? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, what was the criteria you had to give to get the funding?
What, in terms of the script, or?
To get the funding, somebody here wants
Well,
to know. Yeah. What sort of things you have to present to get that kind of funding?
Well, there was no criteria. It was just a scheme run by Northern Film and Media, you know, and them kind of schemes are run all around the country. I'm sure, is it Northwest, your local?
It used to be Northwest Vision, Creative England.
Northwest Vision. Well, they will have run the same kind of scheme. I don't know what it was called in your area, but in my area it was called Stingers, and obviously they get the funding from the UK Film Council. People send in scripts and they just shortlist a load of scripts, and the ones they like, you know, they're the ones that go ahead. So, you know, I mean, again, I mean, it's kind of lucky, because, I mean, that kind of stuff, certainly my film, it's not the kind of stuff we used to make, you know, so I felt really lucky, to be honest, that it actually got the go-ahead, because I didn't really expect it to, given the content, you know, the kind of films that normally come out in North East are these dark, depressing social dramas, you know. And I'm not saying Dystopia Street is a happy film, you know, but it's completely different. So in that sense, you know, I was really happy that it got the green light to go ahead.
Maybe that's a criteria, a good idea, but a different idea.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, to be honest, they never really said, you know. I mean, they liked the idea. I think, to be honest, I think because it was the last year of the UK Film Council schemes before it was that act, I think Northern Film and Media just wanted to do something completely different to what they did before. And I reckon, I mean, I don't know this for sure, but I reckon that the script for Dystopia Street was, you know, miles away from anything else but what was submitted that year, so hence why they took a chance, I think.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thanks a lot. Thank you. Sorry, one more question.
Yeah.
If you got £12,000 funding, do you not feel compelled to share some of that with the artistic director that did it for almost nothing? Did the work for almost nothing?
Work for who?
Somebody wants to know, if you got that kind of funding and your artist director did the film for nothing, they want to know why you didn't share the money with him.
Why you didn't share the money
with your artistic director? Yeah.
Well, I mean, it wasn't down to me, was it? It was down to the producer, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the producer dealt with all the money, you know. He just obviously just tried to get me the best heads of department that we could. And again, you know, as I say, we fell in lucky. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd have threw all the money that way, you know. But I mean, as you can see, we did a fantastic job on the small budget we had, so I
Yeah.
can't complain, you know.
Yeah. He spent all the money on other stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Yeah.
no problem. Enjoy the rest of the night.